Sun, Moon, and Rising. The whole month, Mars is really supporting you from your ninth house in its own sign. And it's bringing more vitality, fire into you, feeling inspired because it's the ninth house, feeling motivated, especially to explore new horizons, to be more adventurous, to do things that are I don't know, like maybe take a trip foreign place. And because Mars is in its own sign, things, everything nine house, everything that you're more adventurous with, will give you very positive results. I think you would enjoy it. Maybe take a more active trip to a foreign place where there's a lot of trekking, where you're more active and sporty. For other people, nine house rules expanding your horizons through knowledge, initiating courses, teaching projects, learning projects, university degrees or classes and courses that you expand your self-knowledge, or expand your horizons and faith in yourself and your potential overall. So fantastic time to do any of those things. Plus, it doesn't even have to be with ninth house things like traveling, higher knowledge. It can just mean that Mars is helping you if you're starting to initiate new things, to feel energetic. Doors will open easily, will flow. The efforts that you're making, physical exertion, will feel even more pleasant, more enjoyable. Um, and you can be very proactive in procuring connections with people in higher social classes or people with high social standing. Ninth house rules that. Or uh, chasing or going after contacts for import export, or contacts from foreign countries as well. On another level, just be a bit more cautious because you'll be very preachy when Mars is in the ninth house. Very strongly opinionated about what's happening in the world. You might enter certain clashes because of very strong opinions, but at the same time, you sound very inspiring, very full of passion about your beliefs. If you want to excite other people and get them engaged into something that you're passionate about, this is fantastic time, because Mars in the ninth house will help you be like, like so full of spark in regards what rocks your world, and others will be drawn into that as well. So very motivational. um, June the 3rd, Mercury is turning direct in your 10th house, but continues to be square Saturn for a few days. So the first week of June, you might feel still some complication regarding matters of career, work, with institutions, with authority figures, with father figures. There can be some tensions that are escalating, but starting to turn around, and certain delays or obstacles or complications regarding career or your future, or your some project with career, relationships with such people that I call authority or institutions, will start getting resolved. And usually after around the end of the first week of June, you'll start feeling things flowing there. And then if there were some complications in regards to your friendship, social circle, social media, which is the 11th house when Mercury was retrograde there, from the 13th of June, Mercury moves into your 11th house. So any complications in friendships, in gains and income, which is also what Mercury rules, if there were any delays, complications in anything connected to followers, anything connected to uh, business tools for reach out to larger groups of people, will be resolved, will start giving good results if you did the right changes. Funny enough, when Mercury went retrograde in my 11th house, now I'm a Leo, that's when my YouTube channel was kaput. 11th house is very much social outreach, followers, YouTube channel, and I thought that's it, I'm done. But I did a new channel, Astrolada. I used the retrograde energy to restore old videos, and my old YouTube channel was restored. Hopefully I'll see the results now of reaching out more and more of you when Mercury moves direct from the middle of June on my 11th house for more gains, for more social outreach, for better business. So Mercury in its own sign hopefully will help you with such things: better business, better communications, more activity with friends, more communications with friends, with business associates, reaching out to client, marketing, business. Great things for Mercury when it's in its own sign in your 11th house. All of those things will start feeling great from June the 13th. There's a full moon on June the 14th, guys. Oh, I forgot. Saturn is going retrograde. So Mercury turns direct. At the same time that Mercury turns direct, Saturn is going retrograde on June the 4th in your 7th house. It's done that twice already in the last 2 years. I think it's the last time for the next 30 years. So Saturn retrograde for the next 5 months from the beginning of June, you might feel like things slow down or become more distant in your relationships, or some kind of there is a change starting to happen in your partner. It's not necessary to be something bad also. But there might be some, because Saturn is a planet of distancing yourself from certain relationships, personal or business partnerships or collaborations, slowing things down so you can see things in a more slowed down, what's that called, like real, so you can be more detached and get a different perspective. So you might be reevaluating gradually, starting from now, certain business partnership, certain client relationships. It might be, you might be forced to do that, not because you want it, because external circumstances force it, but also narrowing your approach to your public, to your audience, or to your clients. 7th house is also connected to trading, to business, narrowing it, putting barriers, becoming more professional, putting more structure around that, learning when to say no to others, not only for business, in personal relationships as well. So you will learn to be more hardcore in relationships. You've been learning this lesson for a while now as a Leo, but now especially you learn when to say no to others, when enough is enough, and you might be also to put more secure structures around you when it comes to others, not giving a finger and then them taking the hand. In extreme cases, it can mean you encasing yourself in a wall and becoming lonelier and kind of not letting people in and having fears, and hopefully having to work through those fears in the next 5 months. And any problems, if there is consistent pattern of relationship issues in your life, a consistent pattern that you've met, you might become aware of it very clearly now with Saturn retrograde. What are you doing wrong? What fears are making you do that? And you can start reworking on that. And it's a very slow process. You don't see immediate results. The realization of something, and then every time you're doing the same mistake with a partner, in a partnership, or with others in your life overall, you start becoming aware of it more and more. So it might take around 5 months to kind of really integrate that new awareness into you, and you'll see the results when Saturn starts turning direct, how you have restructured and improved your relationships. But that might take a few hard decisions, like removing certain people from your life, so removing certain attitudes towards people, or changing a certain aspect of a very important relationship. For some of it can mean total reevaluation of a marriage or business partnership, and like the death with the sky that Saturn symbolizes, removing such people from your life. From others, it can mean reworking, putting extra effort to make that relationship more quality. With anything Saturn, it's not about the quantity of your relationships, it's about the quality, and that's what you're working. And at the end, you'll be left with more stable relationships, or more clear rules in your relationships. The ones that are taking advantage, the ones that are not mutually useful for each other and productive, might be removed. Also, it can mean that your partner is becoming more Saturnian to some extent, with more resilience in them, or doing some hard project. You might have to support them, but it can make your relationships more distant, or that they're becoming more, or you and your partner might be doing something that requires a lot of your discipline together. 3 times more efforts of no power, to say no to something, or that requires discipline and gradual step by step changing of some routine, or working on some hard project together. And that's when you really kind of focus that energy together with the partner, your partner is doing it, and that can affect the dynamic of the relationship. But you can do something really important and difficult over the next few months with partners, personal, business, and you can see some change in your partner and in your relationship. All right, I think that's probably the most important thing. Venus will make a series of conjunctions around full moon in your 5th house around June the 14th. So a few days before and after, there can be some pleasant party, fun, holiday. 5th house rules those things. So some focus on children, and that can be a time for some of you to get pregnant. For some of you, it can be, for some of you, it can be some focus on romantic relationships, doing some dates and fun, or full moon is something coming to full fruition. So maybe some creative project, you see the realization of it, or maybe you end it and complete it, or some romantic aspect of your life you complete, or some, something that you're doing creatively gives results in some way. And then Venus is conjunct Uranus and the North Node in your 10th house. Something new can come around the 11th to 19th in regards to your career, something exciting, something connected to foreign, to exciting opportunities, but also there is effort that has to be put because Venus squares Saturn, or some disappointment that ensues, or some deadlines connected to that, or some extra efforts, But then Venus starts making good aspects and it's good again. And then Venus moves on June 23rd into your 11th house, where Mercury is as well. So your social life becomes even busier. Your expansion to reach out new audiences becomes easier, new clients if you want, marketing, advertising, fantastic time for already from when Mercury enters, from June the 13th, to do such campaigns for wider outreach, publicity, or maybe more gains if you have a business, or maybe some bonus if you're on a salary, and maybe good times with friends. So thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this month, Leos. Some of you will have it tougher, especially those who have their degrees of Leo around 25, 24, when Saturn is 26, 25, 24, 23, when Saturn is going retrograde on those degrees, kind of the pressure you can feel, especially from external circumstances and external, other people sometimes, because Saturn is directly opposing you, but again, everything will be for the best.